The Chicago Bulls have lost 5 straight games. Billy Donovan is the tank commander, and many people are questioning, is anything going to change after the All-Star break for this team? We're discussing all and more in today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily Chicago Bulls podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every single day. I'm one of those here, Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls Central, Chicago Bears Central YouTube pages and podcast. And let's go ahead and get into it. I have no idea where Pat the designer is. He's somewhere fighting the air in the Fortress of Solitude right now. But with that said, let's get into the Bulls. Lost their 5th straight game yesterday against the Brooklyn Nets. This is a team that's really owned the Chicago Bulls all season long, regardless of, whether the Bulls made a trade or not. But this was another game in which, you saw some flashes of some things for the Bulls. I'm not saying flashes of, anything that's going to make this team be a winning team or not, but just as we're going to this place of true evaluation, that's where I really feel like we are, as we're evaluating a lot of these pieces. I tell you what, I love Anthony Simons. I love Anthony Simons' game. I'm not even going to, and maybe it's because we haven't had a truly great off-ball player in a while now. Anthony Simons had to do more ball handling that he'd probably even tell you that he's more comfortable with. He had 7 assists with 5 turnovers yesterday, but it was the times where Anthony Simons was the off-ball player. Coming off those screens, I really don't know when's the last time the Bulls had a really great off-ball player. And no offense to anybody, right? Because, DeMar DeRozan, clearly a better on-ball player than off-ball player. Zach LaVine was a really good catch-and-shoot player, but I don't think he was, the same type of off-ball player that Anthony Simons is. And Kobe White was growing as an off-ball player last season. This season, because his shooting has not been good because of the injury or whatever else is the reason going on there, he definitely hadn't taken that next step off-ball wise. Watching Anthony Simons come off of screens, how when he touches the ball, he took a shot from basically the logo yesterday, seeing Anthony Simons do those type of things, it makes me interested to see what he does look like with Josh Giddey out there potentially, with Josh Giddey's passing and stuff like that. But man, I tell you what, Anthony Simons has been absolutely a stud, bro. It's for what he is. He's a player that we talked about inconsistency, right? We've had people, one of the biggest knocks that a lot of the Kobe White, people who didn't like Kobe White would say is that Kobe White is streaky. He's inconsistent. And I do think all scorers have a level of being inconsistent. Everybody does. But Anthony Simons is just so good. He's almost an off-ball player at the level of Rip Hamilton, but he does take threes, whereas Rip was all in the mid-range. We got Pat the designer in the building. What's going on, Pat?
StreamYard got to get this together. I literally had to log out and log back in.
Refreshing doesn't show up, or he doesn't fix it?
It didn't pop it up. It is what it is. 5 straight losses.
I was talking about Anthony Simons and just how as an off-ball player, we just haven't had somebody like Anthony Simons in a while who just there was a time where the Nets were double teaming him last night. It's when's the last time we saw that? When's the last time we saw somebody really as an off-ball player have to be double teamed? Now he did have to play point guard yesterday, which I was saying at the top of the show, he'll even tell you that's not his best role, but
yeah.
They had him doing that. But Anthony Simons as a scorer is so good.
Bro, I'll be honest with you. It's funny seeing a guy like Anthony Simons, seeing a guy like Nick Richards, although Nick Richards kind of a cluck on the court. As I've watched a few games, he had a little cluck to him. No, seeing a guy like those two where it's just such a foreign player that hasn't been on this team in so long, an athletic big that can run and actually defend the rim. Anthony Simons, a player who not only is putting up a ton of shots, bro, honestly, what, Ben Gordon?
Yeah, that's I almost hesitated to go there, but I don't think we've had enough. Oh, Marco Bellinelli, a little bit of that, but it was only one season here.
Yeah, but I don't even know if he was putting shots up like that.
No, I mean, that was a different era. He wasn't putting shots up like that for sure. Yeah.
Anthony, but Ben Gordon was a completely different era, and he was putting shots up like that.
Well, Ben Gordon, but that's why people thought Ben Gordon was odd. Remember, because that was so foreign for Ben Gordon would fit in. Unfortunately, he fits in with the guns too. Him and Ja somebody taking multiple shots. But go ahead.
No, I think it's hilarious to see it because it feels so foreign to see a player like Anthony in a Bulls jersey where he's taking a lot of threes, but he's hitting them at a good clip. He's getting to his shot. He's able to create a shot. And it's not like he's just taking dumb shots, right? Like, no disrespect to Kobe. I think Kobe was he was more similar to a Trae Young than an Anthony Simons. And what I mean by that is Kobe could take a lot of threes. Kobe could have a game where he would shoot 10 threes. And sometimes he would go 1 for 10. But if Kobe was hot, Kobe could go 7 for 10 from the three-point line. And so I think there's a difference in like a player coming in who is putting threes in the air and you're just chucking shots at a certain point to try and get yourself in rhythm, to try and get yourself back in the game versus what we're seeing out of Anthony Simons, where we really haven't seen him just start chucking a ton unless like a little bit maybe last night in the Nets game where you're down 20. Like that's kind of the only game plan to possibly get you back into the game. And so like I look at Anthony Simons as a player that we truly haven't seen in a Bulls uniform in a long time. And I'm really excited about the possibility of if we are able to re-sign him, what he could be next to Josh Giddey.
Yeah, and that's a big if we're going to be able to re-sign him because unrestricted free agent, he can want to go to a winning situation. So
more than likely,
we'll see what happens with that one. Any other players that stood out to you yesterday? Somebody in the chat said they were captain of the Rob Dillingham fan club. I'm like, bro, like Rob Dillingham, I see some flashes of why the potential's there, but let's not act like he's a good player yet.
Here's what's tough about Rob and what you can kind of clearly see. Rob is a 2.
In a
which
one's
is a problem because Rob is 6 foot, probably, maybe 6'1".
That 6'1" is very generous.
Listen, they give him 6'3" on Google. So
what?
There's a lot. Yeah, they give Rob Dillingham 6'3".
Yeah, that's cap. That's all cap.
He's 6'1", maybe, and 190 feels like he ate a big breakfast that day. Like I think that's going to be very tough to work at the NBA level. I think, it's not to say he doesn't have skill. I think you can tell he's more comfortable. I was, he talked about coming out of Minnesota. He was like, you don't feel like you're going to get killed because you made a mistake on the court when you come here. Yeah, but I also see you making a lot of mistakes on the court. So, and I get it. You got to work through those things. You got to play through those things. You have to be able to get yourself going. But again, it's not like I saw people leave last night like Rob Dillingham was elite. He wasn't.
Yeah.
And 7 rebounds that everybody's beating. Oh, it's career high, 7 rebounds. I don't want Rob Dillingham rebounding. He's 6 foot. What is his skill set as a scorer? What is his skill set getting to the basket? What is his skill set creating shots for other people? They're not great. I would love to see that develop. I would love to see him turn into the star that people thought that he was going to be coming out of Kentucky. I think he was coming out of Kentucky. I don't see. And I think it's very telling that a team that needed what is believed to be Rob Dillingham's skill set or the one that could develop at some point looked at him and was like, nah, we cool. We'll rather have Ayo Dosunmu, who balled last night.
But shout out to Ayo for having a great game last night for a winning team. I think the thing with Dillingham is just this. He has tons of potential, but he needs to find a way to put it together to where it's impactful at the NBA level. He's not going to be the 44% three-point shooter he was in college because guess what? The guys are he doesn't have the ability to create space at the same level that he did at the NBA level. That's why I was encouraged by his passing more than anything, not this game, but the last game, because the way he caught those lobs and got those up to Nick Richards and Modest and things like that, and his ability to recognize quickly, like, oh no, let me get this in the perfect position for them. He's gonna have to become more of a facilitator at the NBA level, and then once they respect him for that, if that range is still there and stuff like that, there's gonna be some shots there, but I feel he's really have to make that switch from a scorer to being an actual point guard at the NBA, and how he adjusts to that is gonna be telling for him.
Yeah, it's the only option for him, honestly. Again, like he's not really a shooter. You know what I mean? He can shoot, but he's not really like somebody that's going to be chucking up shots. His game is very get to the rim, get to the basket, create for others with his penetration. And again, it's only been a couple of games, right? Maybe by the end of the season, we're singing a different tune. But right now, he looks very much like the player that Minnesota went, nah, we okay with that. We don't have time to wait for that to develop. The Bulls do have a ton of time, which is very different. And Chicago,
well, he's getting minutes now. If Josh Giddey and Trey Jones comes back.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, but you know what? I'll say this. Prepare yourself. It's about to be a lot of basketball that if you actually want to see the Bulls win a game, you go, well, that don't make sense. They are tanking.
Yes.
That 110%, they are tanking. Like, if the Bulls were anywhere close in that game, Billy would have sat people. They are tanking.
Well, we'll continue this conversation and talk about is anything going to change for the Chicago Bulls after the All-Star break? We're getting practices, getting some players back. Talk a little bit about that right after this. Is that right? It's not right, bro. Sorry. There you go. Finding a doctor you actually like, you feel like discovering a diamond in the rough. Sure, you want someone who's in network, nearby, and has availability, but you also want a doctor who listens, makes you feel comfortable, and explains things clearly. That kind of doctor exists, and finding them is easy with ZocDoc. ZocDoc is a free app and website that helps you find and book high-quality in-network doctors so you can find someone you love without all the hassle. We're talking about booking in-network appointments with more than 150,000 providers. Let me carry that zero over across all 50 states, covering 200 specialists from primary care and dentistry and dermatology and eye care. I'll admit it. I definitely put off doctor appointments longer than I should between work, life, and everything else. It's easy to delay. You can see real-time availability and book instantly. No phone calls, no waiting on hold. You can also read verified patient reviews so you feel confident choosing a doctor you actually like. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/LockedOnNBA to find and instantly book a doctor you love today. That's ZocDoc.com/LockedOnNBA. ZocDoc.com/LockedOnNBA. Thanks, ZocDoc, for sponsoring this message. I also got to talk to you guys about another one of our sponsors, and that is Wayfair. The new year is here, and it's perfect time to reset your routine and refresh your space. If you're spending more time at home, you might as well love how it looks and feels. That's why you should turn to Wayfair. It's a one-stop shop for getting your home back on track. From bedding and mattresses to storage solutions for every room, Wayfair makes it easy to start the year fresh. Wayfair has everything you need for a full home refresh, all in one place. Whether you're updating your living room, organizing your space, or upgrading your work from home setup, Wayfair's huge selection makes it easy to find exactly what works for your style and budget. I picked up new bedding and accent pillows from Wayfair, and it completely changed how my bedroom feels. It's cleaner, calmer, and more put together. Shopping is easy, delivery smooth, and everything arrives exactly as expected. It's honestly made getting back into routine this new year feel a lot more manageable. Get organized, refreshed, and back on track this new year for way less. Head to Wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. More Locked On Bulls coming up next. All right, Pat. Bulls have one last game before the All-Star break. I believe we face the Boston Celtics. People are saying Vooch's revenge game. I'll tell you what, with how tough Nick Richards and Yabusele are playing, Vooch may have a hard go for that one, but we shall see with that. But do you think anything's going to change? We've talked about it. You just said it. The Bulls are clearly tanking. But is there anything that you're looking for after the Bulls get practices? Josh Giddey, Trey Jones come back, who were upgraded last game, which kind of points to maybe they'll be back after the All-Star break. Is there anything that you are looking for from this team after the All-Star break?
I mean, you want to see guys get comfortable. Really, I mean, in a season like this, it's been a while since we actually had a real tank on. In a season like this, you want to see how much players can develop from year over year. So last time we had this was Larry Markkinen and Kobe White. And, you know, they started to gain some traction going into that second year, right? Larry had developed the drag step. He started being able to use that a little bit more. Kobe was getting more comfortable being a point guard, and then we changed everything about his life throughout his time here.
For the next 4 years, we changed.
For the next 4 years, yeah. I want to see Jaden Ivey get comfortable. You know, we were talking about him last night because Kid was like, I don't even remember this dude playing, and we pulled up highlights of him, and it was, you know, you forget how explosive Jaden Ivey was. You know, I really want to just see him get the trust back in his leg, because for me, it's very difficult to go into a restricted free agency and say, we're going to re-sign Jaden Ivey. We're going to be comfortable moving forward with this guy. And you don't know if he's going to trust that his leg is going to be strong enough again. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't take time, but is that the path that you want to continue to move with forward? Are you looking to have multiple tanking seasons, or are you just hoping to have a down year, this year where you get yourself out of the play-in tournament and you actually get yourself possibly into the lottery. On top of that, I want to see kind of the relationships that are built with this team, because that's how you're going to keep some of these dudes around. If I got the option, I don't want to sign with the Bulls. If I've got the option, I don't want to be on this team. If I'm Anthony Simons, if I'm Nick Richards, if I name whoever you want, Yabusele, Yabusele may go back to France.
Well, that was the rumor even before he came to the Bulls, that his plan was go back to France. Now, I will say this. It's when you're in New York and sitting on the bench playing 3 minutes per game, it's easy to think, different. Let me go back home. Then when you go to a team and you're like, hey, this team actually has a role for me and they need me. So maybe there's that part you can look at.
No, yeah. Listen, I would love to keep a guy like Yabusele on the team. I think even, seeing where Colin Sexton fits in, I love the mindset. He looks insane. He reminds me so much of like one of those dudes that is just like, he might bite you, but also he's going to be a big leader for your team. You know what I mean? Like that learning about who these players are over the next 30 games is really all that matters for the Chicago Bulls, because you can tell by how they're going about this, they plan on losing probably 28 of these 30 games. And it's obvious tanking. I mean, this is Utah levels of tanking right now. You know what I mean? What did what's his name say last night?
It's funny enough, we may see Billy Donovan do more coaching now than when he did when we were trying to win.
Bro,
because now he's going to have to be like, how many minutes did he play? Yeah, go ahead and sit down. We done with that. Like,
bro, what Will Hardy said yesterday, the game got kind of close. Was there ever a thought to put Lowry and John Collins back in the game? He said, no thought.
No thought.
we just obviously tanking. We saying F the season. So we'll see what ends up happening. But to me, that's all you can look forward to in a season like this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to like the thing you said, the evaluation part of it, because I do think like you have to, at least in my mind, like the Bulls, AK does things completely different. So I don't know how AK views the world anymore. I never have. But you would think that with heading into restricted free agency, you need to see Jaden Ivey out there, at least some with Josh Giddey before the end of the year, right? Like you would think that's at least has to be part of the goal.
Not if you win. Not if you think it give you a chance to win.
I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Here's the tough part too. There's no real evaluation that you get with this because of how you made the makeup of the team.
Exactly.
I can't evaluate what a guard is playing small forward. Like we're seeing legitimate minutes of Colin Sexton playing small forward. I don't know what Colin Sexton. I know he's a nut.
Well, see, the thing, that's why I always go to Jaden Ivey, because to me, you know who Colin Sexton and Anthony Simons are as players. I think that you know their roles, on their best version of their roles. You know who they are as players. And not to say they can't refine. I've never counted out a player to be able to refine their game, no matter how long they've been in the league. But like those two, the ones that I think you're evaluating for fit is Ivey, maybe Dillingham.
Yeah.
And that's really it. Like everyone, like Nick Richards, you know who he is. He's 28 years old. As a backup big, you know exactly who he is.
I would say you know who Jaden Ivey is. The question is, does Jaden Ivey know who he is anymore?
He knows who he is. He doesn't know who his leg is.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I think
Lonzo
that,
still is getting familiar with it. He still doesn't know who that knee is. He doesn't know that knee.
They say he about to sign with the Warriors. Like I think that's really the bigger conversation and all of that is, we know the player that Ivey is. We know the player that they hope for him to get back to being, I should say.
That's fair.
Are you going to see that by the end of the season? Probably not. Like it's not. It's a mental thing. It's not something that flips a switch. It's not all of a sudden one day he's going to wake up and go, "Oh my God, I just trust his leg." It's going to take time. It's going to take an off season. It's going to take him working through it. It's going to take him, figuring out where he's comfortable, where he's not comfortable, and it's very difficult to get that in the season. So if that's what AK is hoping to evaluate over these next 30 games, good luck. More than likely, you're just going to end up signing a dude that you got questions on.
Yeah.
And maybe you sign into a shorter term contract and that works out for you. But, I don't see it being you're going to get the answer you're hoping for from Jaden Ivey in game 20 of the 30 that are remaining here.
Yeah.
So we'll see what ends up happening. We got to talk about this final topic. Time to start draft conversation because, listen, it's a good draft to get into. And every time I go to Tankathon and hit sim lottery, Bulls sitting right at 10. Sitting right at 10. Not moving an inch. Up, down, nothing. We'll talk about that more coming up next. First, we got to tell you guys all about TurboTax. Though tax season doesn't have to take over your life this year, TurboTax is making it easier than ever just to hand things off and move on with your day. With TurboTax Full Service, you can have your taxes done for you by a trusted local expert. Sorry, I went FUBU on that.
FUBU, that's crazy.
Yeah, for us, by us, Black Power, Black History Month. For you, by you, a trusted local expert, start to finish, without the stress or guesswork. Instead of spending hours trying to figure out forms, you can meet with a local TurboTax expert in person or connect online. It's a huge time saver and gives real peace of mind knowing an expert is handling it. And for a limited time, you can have your taxes done by a local TurboTax expert for just $150 all in. If a TurboTax expert didn't file your taxes last year, just file by February 28th. Take taxes off your plate and get back to your life. Visit turbotax.com/local to book your appointment today. More Locked On Bulls coming up next.
All right, Pat. So I know it's presented as a question. It's not really a question. Who we looking at in the draft, Pat? Who are you looking at so far?
I mean, listen, it's obvious to look at the top 5 guys. I don't know if you have a chance to get there. I don't know if you have a chance to get that high, but here is why I would say start looking at the guys that are in the top 5. Look at the past few years of drafts since they changed the lottery rules. It is not the teams that have bottomed out in the beginning of the year. It has been a lot of the teams that have just had some misfortune, have had some injury, have been dumb enough to trade away Luka Doncic, that end up at the top of the draft lottery. So I think there's a real opportunity that the Bulls could still end up top 5 here, because of how the lottery falls. And listen, I'm one that believes that it's not real. Like, they put the teams that they want up there to be, to get better and be the best. You can't fool me that LeBron just so happened to go to Cleveland and Derrick Rose magically ends up in Chicago. So I think the NBA wants Chicago to get its stuff together. I wonder if Adam Silver sent down the black plane call, get it together or we drop a bomb on this whole front office. So
for me, all y'all.
I'm looking at Cam Boozer. I love what Cam Boozer is. We've already had a Boozer in the building. I think he's a phenomenal player. I think that he shows you so much on both ends of the court, and offensively, it is shocking how much better than his dad he is.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, he's definitely, he actually cares about defense, unlike his dad.
I mean, I think everyone else just cares so little about defense now that it looks like he cares heavily about defense.
No, I mean, listen, I'm looking more like the top 3 are the top 3. Of course, you want to get in the top 3. I'm not going to give myself hopes that we're going to land in the top 3 because we're the Chicago Bulls. So if we get in the top 3, I'm fine with any of those guys. Like, to be honest with you, and I don't just say that as a cop out. I'm literally fine with any of those guys who we get. I do think like some of those guys would change what it seems like the plan is. But then again, like, all these guys are free agents. So even if it is, if we somehow it's Darren Peterson, who's a shooting guard, or like, okay, cool. Jaden Ivey, sign us. Thank you for your time.
You're not beholden to anybody.
32 games. Thank you for your time. So, I mean, that's the good point about where we are. I mean, even if it's Cam Boozer or AJ, Modest can play either the 3 or the 4, so they can move into whatever position is natural for them. So really in the top 3, any of those guys. Outside of that, I do like Caleb Wilson a lot, but you still got to be in the top 5 for that too. Outside the top 5, Jaden, I murder his last name every time, so I'm gonna learn how to say it better. I love him. Out of Kentucky, Yaxel, I'm cool with him as well. Out of Michigan, so there are a number of players that I'm cool with. Like, if the Bulls land in the top 10, their chances are really good about getting a player that's going to work out for them. I worry that AK is going to see all these guys and be like, "No, man, that guy with that long name that none of y'all ever heard of, that's going to be our draft pick."
Oh, for sure. We already know that. My only concern about Jaden is, and I don't know if you've noticed this, he's load managing already.
Oh, for sure, absolutely, and he's not good at free throws at all, which people are going to try to put him on the line very early in his career.
Yeah.
And the turnover, Listen, the dude, say what you will. People complain about Kobe White's turnovers. Jaden, especially as a rookie until he learns to refine it, is going to frustrate the hell out of fans.
Yeah, no, I'm good on him. Like you load managing in college, bro. Nah, bro, you can't come to my NBA.
Just how like Nick Cannon just sneezes into a new baby. That's how Jaden sneezes into turnovers. It's just random, just turnovers.
It's hilarious, bro. Like it is. I'm not a fan.
He be like this. Hey, what you say?
Yeah, bro, legit, bro. He is the Tyrus Thomas of eyebrow fakes for a turnover, bro.
That is hilarious.
You know what I mean? Like I tell you what,
Tyrus Thomas just jumped for a block just now because you said that.
He still does. He never stops. But no, man. Like I listen. This is a very deep draft for you. It's one that you want to get as high as you possibly can in. You've got 76 second round picks, so maybe you turn that into a late first round pick for some team, because I think this is a deep draft that you can actually find your way back into in some way or fashion. It's one. I mean, listen, last year you missed out on a deep draft. I don't know if you missed out on it. You were a part of it, but I don't believe in what you did. You missed out on a deep draft and you had the opportunity to go get some really solid players. This year, you don't want to be in that situation. You want to be as high as you can in the draft. And so if you're all in on the tank, be all in on the tank. I don't want to see a month of not Marko Simonovic, Nico Mirotic. I don't want to see a month of Bobby Portis. The second you see somebody balling, sit them down.
Wait till you get the month where Jaden Ivey actually wakes up and remembers who he is, and it's going to be the month of March. Jaden Ivey going for 20 and 5.
That would be the exception to it, because that's one, right? Like if Modest did it, I would be like, no, sit him down. Like he got to stop. Because I know what kind of player Modest probably is trending towards being, a really good offensive player that can get after it. Of course, he can play above the rim. Like I can see him heading toward that path. If it's Jaden Ivey, you getting some answers. If it's Jaden Ivey, like your draft probably looks a little different because you have what is he, 22?
No, Jaden Ivey 23, I think. He's
23? You got a 23-year-old shooting guard that's confident in his game, can play above the rim, is a really good shooter next to Josh Giddey. Like that's something you can actually build with. I don't want to see freaking Nick Richards going off for a 20 and 10, month. And we talking about, oh, look at how he's playing. Look at the upside. Now, sit his stupid, sit him down. If you gonna tank. Because what irritates me is we always half do it. The draft we had Luka, the draft where Luka went, we in position to have the number 1 overall pick. Hot month from Bobby Portis. Now all of a sudden we drafted 11. Or no, was that 7 again?
That was 7.
Was that 7 again?
Was that the start of the 7? No, that was the middle.
No, that was the end of the 7s. That was because we had Lowry, we had Kobe already. Who did we take with the third one? We had 7 3 years in a row. Oh, we took
Wendell.
Oh. Follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls. You can follow me on everything at Pat the Design. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. I forgot about that.
You can follow us. You can follow me at CEO Haize. Locked On Bulls. Oh, by the way, y'all make sure y'all go and check us out over on the Everydayers Club. Go over to LockedOn.com to join the Everydayers Club. That way you get a ad-free version of the show. You guys can follow me at CEO Haize. Locked On Bulls is free and available on every podcasting app and platform of your choice, as well as YouTube, the Odyssey app, Amazon Fire TV, Roku TV, and Fubo TV. Guys can catch us anywhere you want us. You can get it. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace, y'all. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Some drafts I never get over.
Denzel Valentine.
Oh my God. Don't even get me started on that one, bro.
Bro, we're the team that drafted Denzel Valentine, Tony Snell, and Wendell Carter. And P. Will.
I'm tired.